What's going on, guys? Welcome to the wrestling page, and we have got another fun-filled video for you today. The second of today. The first one was obviously the WWE shop unboxing.
Yes, which I got the AJ Styles jacket here. Pretty
jacket and vest.
Jacket vest. For a moment, I kind of thought to myself, do I like it? I wore the Raw 25 hoodie there, which we also unboxed. The Bray Wyatt t-shirt. Off, it looks cool, but on, it feels much better. It's a tight t-shirt. That's what I like. So obviously, if you want to check it out,
see if I looked at that on the shop, would never buy it.
I think it looks a lot more.
Now I've seen it on. See someone wear it, I'd buy it now.
Yeah. Just so I say, got the AJ Styles jacket there. I'm very impressed with it. I'm just a bit obviously it doesn't button up, but hey ho, but it looks really cool on TV, and I'm finally bought something that's like replica. Obviously, we've got these titles here, but they're not replica, but something different buying this. So don't forget to check out that video. We've done the unboxing there for t-shirt, jacket, and the hoodie there. So at the end of this video, there'll be a link in the outro there for the video, so check that out.
So for today's video, we have got, because we're heading to London in 5 days' time for Monday Night Raw and Tuesday SmackDown Live. Yeah, this Sunday, 5 days' time, we're heading there. We thought we'd do a little fun-filled video of all the goings on and everything towards WWE just now, starting from the Greatest Royal Rumble, moving on to Backlash, and the Raws and SmackDowns, all heading towards Monday Night Raw live in London and Tuesday Night SmackDown live in London for what we could expect to see, what the matches are going to be, because we're heading into Money in the Bank. So just a really good fun-filled recap and what we're excited about to see and everything, the fallout from these pay-per-views.
Yeah, definitely.
Towards what we're going to see live.
Our last video we've done, despite obviously what we've just done there, the unboxing there, don't forget to check out our last video, which was our predictions for the Greatest Royal Rumble. So we predicted who we think is going to win, so let's obviously have a look and see what we got right and what we got wrong. Obviously, as I say, we've watched it. So one match we didn't actually cover was John Cena versus Triple H, because we realised after we stopped recording. John Cena versus Triple H, what a great match to start and open the show.
That was probably one of the best matches I've ever seen, and the crowd in Saudi Arabia were probably the way I would love to have seen this match go down. There wasn't one side that they weren't supporting. They were cheering for John Cena, they were cheering for Triple H, and it was just absolutely flawless. It was great.
It was one of these one of these matches, like, it wasn't like, how could you give an example, like Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. It wasn't like one of them matches you see quite a lot and you think, it's going to be a match. It was because the fact we haven't seen this match in what 10 years?
They needed a match to put it off with a bang, and that done it.
It was an absolutely amazing match. Obviously, Triple H got his cool entrance with the mask over the face, and then John Cena.
I like that.
John Cena got the WrestleMania 25 remake, but with children.
I wonder if they're ever going to put that on the shop. Do you know, like the mask he comes out like the half skull?
I've always wanted
to be really cool.
The jacket there. Moving on from that match, which obviously I'll say I thought should have been the main event. Obviously, it was one of them matches you think, yeah, it's main event worthy.
Totally, yeah.
Moving on, the Cruiserweight Championship, we had Cedric Alexander defending his championship against Kalisto.
I like 205. I like 205 Live better. Now that Triple H is actually running it, I love 205 Live now. But to be fair, do you know who I would have swapped in and out for Kalisto? Would have been Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy's a really amazing upcoming superstar in WWE on 205 Live, especially. And he's Australian, he's got the fire, he's got the physique, and I think he would have been great in that.
Who did we predict for that again? I predicted Kalisto.
I predicted Kalisto.
I wanted Cedric to win, but Kalisto was who we predicted because it was something we thought was obvious, but it didn't happen. We've got the Raw Tag Team Championships, which was defended, which they were currently vacant at that point, which was the Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy.
I think we both
versus the Usos.
Did we both?
Not the Usos. Sorry, Sheamus and Cesaro.
The Bar. Did you?
I predicted them too, because the fact that they were moving across brands, Sheamus and Cesaro, it was too obvious that Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy was going to win it.
Totally, yeah. No, I totally agree.
Great match. It was a great match. It was a great match. Not gonna lie.
It was for the best though.
The only thing I disappointed about it, as I said, which we'll get onto a little bit later, is the fact that they never defended the tag team titles on Raw at Backlash. Sorry. The one thing I found disappointing was the fact that they defended these titles here. It was a great match, but they never defended it at Backlash. Not just personally them, It's not personally them. It's why.
Yeah,
why
they're all tag team titles.
Why or the SmackDown? Why did they not put on Backlash? But every other title was.
Yeah.
As I say, it was a great match. Not gonna lie.
Well, it's I think it'd been pretty severely honest as well. Raw, apart from the Authors of Pain and the new Woken Deletion, whatever it's called, they're the only two good tag teams on Raw just now. There's not enough relationships developed to even start anywhere near a feud with anyone. There's nothing.
You got the Revival, but hey, they're.
You got the Ascension, but there's no hot team. Do you know what I mean? Like on SmackDown Live, you've got the Usos, you've got the New Day, you've got the Bar. You've got so many tag teams there, but on Raw, there's not enough tag teams just now.
SmackDown's more fun film.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Sanity, they're not there.
And
yet,
you've also got the club, if you want to call them the club, on SmackDown.
Yeah.
But on Raw, there's not enough tag teams. So
yeah, I mean on Raw, what you've got the Breezango, a joke, if I'm honest.
yeah, you could technically call Heath Slater and Rhino a tag team, and you could technically call Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler a tag team.
They are a great tag team,
But it just seems like they're
tag team
mashed
title
together.
worthy, Jeff Galloway and Ziggler, tag team title worthy.
No,
They
I
are
don't want to
worth
see
it.
them.
They are worth it, definitely. But
I don't want to. I don't want to see them like that. They should continue down the road that they're on, and then hopefully, even though they're together as a faction,
Yeah.
but sort of leap off in separate areas. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay, moving on next.
United States Championship title match against Jinder Mahal at Saudi Arabia. This match obviously is as good as it seems because you've got the massive heel that Jinder Mahal is, and he's done well with the character and the massive baby face that Jeff Hardy is. It's probably a match made in heaven.
It was a great match. Did you guys spot the botch that happened? When Jeff Hardy jumped off the top rope to do his swanton, and he missed Mahal. Mahal fell to the ground. I wasn't sure if that would kind of look like an impact, like he bounced because Jeff Hardy fell on the floor.
Yeah,
But it was a botch anyway. But still, we predicted. We were see that one. That was a bit of a mix because the fact that Jinder Mahal's Raw, Jeff Hardy's SmackDown, and then for the Intercontinental Championship there was 2 from Raw, 2 from SmackDown.
so we were only wanting Jinder Mahal to technically win for the US title to go on to Raw.
Yeah, and I wanted to.
But we all know that Jeff Hardy was going to be the winner, so.
Yeah, so Jeff Hardy won that one. It was a great match. Not going to deny that. Jeff Hardy's a great opponent, and obviously moving on from that, we were looking forward to seeing him in Raw.
Totally, yeah.
Okay, on next we've got the Tag Team Championships, the Bludgeon Brothers defending their titles against the Usos.
There's not much to say about this match.
It didn't really last long, that was one thing.
There's not really much to say about this match. It's as impactful as you would expect it to be with the Bludgeon Brothers and the Usos being high flying. That's probably about it for me. Like, there's not much you can say. You know that the Bludgeon Brothers are going to win because they've not had the tag titles for that long, so they're going to continue to dominate, aren't they?
Yeah, I love the Usos. I'm just a bit disappointed that they didn't go to Raw. It was a great match, but who did we predict for that? It was the Bludgeon Brothers to win.
Yeah, I predicted the Bludgeon Brothers because I want to see their reign continue, which makes sense.
Yeah. Moving on next.
Okay, we've got the Intercontinental Championship ladder match. So we have got Seth Rollins against The Miz, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe. Is that it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Samoa Joe in a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. I like this match, and it's obviously going to be a great match with the people that are in it. Finn Balor, Seth Rollins are your 2 very high-flying active superstars.
2 high flyers. You got Joe is basically like a Roman Reigns. The
I
muscle.
like the fact that they added Samoa Joe in
at
the last
like
minute.
He was the odd person out in that match, but it made it great.
Totally, yeah. The one thing I didn't expect, remember at the very end, obviously Seth Rollins won. He leapt from the rope onto the ladder, and as he ripped the title down, the stud
in the face.
The stud from the Intercontinental Championship here hit him in the eye, and it burst his eye wide open. That was in the very end.
It's the moments like that, it shows you, you never know what's going to happen. But also, that wasn't meant to happen. It wasn't, planned or anything like that.
And like we said before, we wanted The Miz to win, so the title
or
could go to
Joe.
SmackDown, or Samoa Joe. But I think the right person won. Seth Rollins.
Obviously, because of the fact that Jinder Mahal lost, I thought, yeah, okay, Seth Rollins is where you're
Seth Rollins is on, like I was saying in the last production video as well. Samoa Joe. Seth Rollins is on this urge to get the world title picture again, so or a universal title picture. So he needs all the momentum he's got, and he's got it going forward, which we'll get into, which is just brilliant.
Yeah. Okay. The next on this list, it wasn't a match, but it was just a smallish segment. Obviously, it's worth a mention, which we had 4 contestants from the W tryout, was it?
Yeah, so the performance the performance center section in Saudi Arabia came to so the 4 top standout superstars that were part of the tryouts in Saudi Arabia had a little section with the Daivari brothers. And I thought it was really cool. It was the first time he's been on WWE TV in a long time as well.
It's different because normally at pay-per-view, like Raw, for example, SmackDown, for example, you have your matches and then segment. But at pay-per-view, it's always just matches. Because that's the build-up for other feuds and whatnot. But it was good to have that.
It's been a long time since I've seen a good segment like that on a pay-per-view as well.
Definitely.
And the segment on Backlash, but we'll get into that soon. So I think WWE are going back to their old style, which I love.
It's great. I love the fact that there's mixing matches. Sometimes they have matches and then segments, rather than before it kind of felt like there was a couple matches on Raw and then it's just constant segments.
If we go back to like 2005 onwards, WWE were doing their co-branded pay-per-views every now and again, and they were doing like their segments during pay-per-views, and they're going back to their old style, because I've been wrestling for so long that I notice what they're doing. They're going back to their old style, which is the best thing to do, which they should have done a long time ago. I love it. Absolutely love it.
It's great. It's honestly like one of my favourite people I watch segments on Raw right now is Elias. Absolutely love his. It's obviously something we've got onto a little bit.
WWE changing a lot of things, like getting onto this now as well. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship, and like we just seen with Shinsuke Nakamura with his massive heel change at WrestleMania and his new music that he's got. So a lot of things are changing for the better. And this match, actually, if I'm honest, this feud is becoming quite stale. Because I think everyone's like, okay, right, we know Shinsuke Nakamura is going to win the title at some point.
Yeah.
So, and that's 2 double countouts we've seen in 2 pay-per-views.
Obviously, Backlash, what I was saying, which we'll get onto that in just a moment. I was at WrestleMania. When that match first came around, I was like, I don't really want to see that. And at WrestleMania, I still felt the same. And then it came to Greatest Royal Rumble. Obviously, after Nakamura turning heel, because of the fact they're both face, and I thought, it's a bit of one of them matches you just don't want to see, despite the fact that how much the fans do want to see it because they're both from New Japan. And you thought, you know what,
they've got a storied history.
Yeah, it's like Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. It's a match you want to see, but I wasn't bothered for it. As soon as I seen the heel turn, it shows you like that's not something we've actually covered yet since it's been on. I think I can't remember, but shows you like 1 minute they're all yay, just Nakamura, and then as soon as he turns heel, it's like boo.
Like I said, the only reason why I'm getting a little bit stale towards it now is the whole low blow situation.
Yeah,
I kind of I understand every now and again for Shinsuke Nakamura to get heat over his heel character is to be doing that, but this like back and forth playing with the low blows is kind of like, come on, like,
constantly since WrestleMania, it's been like every week on SmackDown he's come out and.
Obviously, if we go back to November past when we were on SmackDown Live with AJ Styles in Manchester winning the WWE Championship, I'm happy that he's got it. And I don't want to see it go from him, but to bring new people into the title picture, maybe Shinsuke Nakamura could win the title and then maybe Daniel Bryan could end up going against him, or Rusev in the future.
I mean, it was a great match. Obviously, Backlash, again, which we'll get onto a little bit later, was a better match. And I'm kind of...
I totally agree with that.
Kind of slowly, even though that obviously, you'll probably know yourself, AJ Styles versus Nakamura ended the same at Backlash, ended the same. They double up count out, if you will, because they both didn't get up off the ground. Ended the same way. Disappointed again why they ended like that. I don't know where they're going with that.
There's a couple of...
But I am slowly kind of liking... I'm slowly starting to like
because we know that... I think that I'm getting stale towards it, but the double countouts, they're sort of building towards something. So this could either be a Hell in a Cell match that they're building towards, a ladder match for the WWE Championship they're building towards, or a falls count anywhere sort of no disqualification match.
Yeah, it can't end in double count or anything like that.
Or a TLC match. There's a
Basically,
varying
kind of
amount of things. No holds barred.
Yeah. Obviously, moving on from that great match there, we have The Undertaker, which he defeated Rusev. Originally was supposed to be Chris Jericho.
As legendary as The Undertaker is, you knew that was going to happen.
You knew it was going to happen. Obviously, with the Chris Jericho situation, him being the opponent for that match, I thought, who would win that one? But with Rusev, I wanted Rusev to win, but you knew Undertaker was going to win.
Yeah,
it was a great match.
It's the only way forward, isn't it? If you've got to take into perspective the whole kayfabe situation with where they're at, Saudi Arabia, and as a legend as the Undertaker is, they're going to have to sit there and say, look, you're winning no matter what. No matter who he goes against, he's going to win.
Obviously, with that match, when I first went into the ring, I looked at the casket and I thought to myself that felt like when he went against Mark Henry. And I thought, why is the casket so big for just Rusev or just the Undertaker? But if you watch the match, you'll know at the end that both of the men went in the which actually, something to add to that, he got tombstoned in English and he actually injured his neck. He's fine now, but it's not severe.
Yeah, we said that we were watching it, didn't we?
Yeah, it wasn't severe, so he is fine now. But moving on to the main event.
Here we go with the controversial end to this match.
It was a great match.
Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns in a steel cage match for the Universal Championship. And as heated as it's severe as you know it's ever going to be.
I said this was the main event. This is the main event.
That's the pre-main
event. Match, yeah. Pre-main event.
Obviously the controversial ending with Roman Reigns spearing Brock Lesnar through the cage wall. On the floor, Brock Lesnar's back hit first. About your feet, the rules in the steel cage match is your feet have to hit the floor first for you to win. And Roman Reigns' feet hit the floor first, with the referee saying that Brock Lesnar had won.
Yeah.
But I think they're just trying to cover up the situation by saying, I thought of their safety first.
Yeah, and then obviously...
Which is kind of true, but at the same time...
The referee called the match the next day, he put on Twitter, he said, I'm sorry, it's actually Roman Reigns should have won, but I've took it as my first answer first. But the thing I have to think about that is the fact that they've done that before. The referees keep being like, yeah, you're actually champion, but what's different about this situation? Why have they decided...
Do you know what I think about it as well? Things like that are not meant to happen that happen is when... Batista versus John Cena in the Royal Rumble.
It was great.
When that didn't mean to happen.
It's moments like that you know that it's not meant to happen. But obviously with that, there was a video shown of Roman Reigns falling out, and apparently he didn't actually win because one foot was on the floor and the other one was against the apron. But who knows?
It's all sort of like technicalities.
Obviously, if anyone watched that, you'll notice that why did they have the two major big singles title matches, the Universal Championship and the WWE Championship, AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar, both ended in basically in a disqualification.
Yeah.
In some way or another. Obviously, a double count out for the Styles Nakamura, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns ended in whatever you want to call it. I don't understand why they went down that route. What did they? I don't know, but
we have to wait to see going forward. That's all.
Moving on to the main event of the night, we had the greatest Royal Rumble. Who won it? Braun Strowman won it. It was actually a bit of a sort of a surprise. It was a bit mixed feelings. I'm happy he won, but
I couldn't have
going in. Daniel Bryan was number one. So
I love
thought he won.
That was the best thing to do. I couldn't have been far wronger from my prediction. I wanted Drew McIntyre to win it because it would be a good stable towards him moving forward with his career, but he wasn't even in the freaking match.
If you didn't watch it, you'll...
And do you remember the stipulation we had? So we chose two numbers. Mine was 7 and 37. And the first number, which you chose, would be the superstar that you're hoping is to win. You've got to follow them through it. And then...
Mine was 50, which was Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
And then the other one was...
The second number that we chose, we're going to buy a t-shirt of that opponent's choice for each other. So I couldn't have even got as far wronger. I got two superstars and not even in WWE for 7 and 37. The first one was oh my god, what the sumo wrestler guy.
Yeah,
I can't even remember his name because I don't even know who he is. I've never heard of him in my
I
life.
think that Yokozuna.
And then the other guy, his name started with a B.
Yeah, he was
Bacterius.
from NXT. He was kind of.
But I've never heard of him or seen him before in my life.
Return wise, you had the Great Khali. You had Hornswoggle, which was
That was brilliant.
Who else did we have? Chris Jericho wasn't really a return. It was announced, but it was a good pop.
I just think it was a general really good match.
It was that.
It was probably better. I know it's because it was a 50 man. It was probably better than
in the
this year's
Continental
one.
Championship. John Cena, Triple H, greatest matches of the night. But that, and obviously putting singles aside, that was a great match.
Mm-hmm.
Also, not a match, but it's a
Do you think that the right man won?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel a bit mixed feelings, kind of like Drew McIntyre. I didn't want Drew McIntyre to win because I wanted him to actually win the real thing. Because this is not for anything.
Yeah.
But Braun
I love the
I
title,
was actually surprised Braun Strowman won though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't like, oh my god, really, Braun Strowman won? Because it was like, because of the fact that Daniel Bryan was in number one, I thought, yeah, he's gonna win it.
And why is it good for Braun Strowman to win? Because he's on this.
Because his face.
He's the tear of the superstar that he's becoming. He's the monster among men. So things that people are not going to tend to win, he's going to win because it makes him look even bigger and better. So
Yeah.
a 50-man Royal Rumble is perfect for someone like him.
Obviously, moving on. Obviously, we've not really got much recap to Raw for that, but on Raw, there's been all different kind of exciting things happening. Matches obviously had been made after Backlash, after Greatest Royal Rumble, rematches basically. Obviously, as anyone knows, there was no women's matches at Greatest Royal Rumble because of their laws over there. So to kick off Backlash, you had Ruby Riott, which was actually, I think it was
Before we get into
only announced prior to it.
I think we should start off by saying, now this is a good thing and a bad thing in one. Because the Greatest Royal Rumble was before Backlash, it sort of soured how exciting Backlash was going to be because of the Greatest Royal Rumble was there before it. So coming into Backlash, the hype wasn't there because we just came off of a pay-per-view. And I don't know what was going on that night, but I don't think that some of the superstars were up to the best of their capabilities that they normally are, starting with this match, Ruby Riott versus Bayley.
I'm going to actually leave that to you because I didn't actually watch the pre-show. I don't really watch the pre-show, but it was Ruby Riott versus Bayley with Ruby Riott winning. But obviously I do keep up with the obviously when it goes to the main show, I do find out who won the match and whatnot, just so I can update on my page to let everyone know who's won and who's not. And I saw Ruby Riott, I was like, oh, a bit shocked about that actually.
It seemed to me like this match on the kickoff show was thrown together at the last minute. That's the way it seemed to me when I was watching it. You know that you can psychologically study a match by how it goes and how they manage to work together, the charisma in the ring. So you can take two superstars and how they work together is how well they built it backstage before they're actually doing it. Seemed like there was no charisma, there was no anything towards this match. They were sort of just calling it in the ring. It was like it was last minute to me. That's the way it seemed, and I didn't enjoy it one little bit.
It was last minute because I think
the only good part of it was at the very end, and that was probably about it. With Ruby Riott winning. Apart from that, I didn't like the match whatsoever.
Okay, so to kick off the main show, we had an absolutely wonderful match. We're not going to put our votes on it just yet. At the end, we'll decide which one match of the night we thought was match of the night. So we had the Intercontinental Championship defended. Seth Rollins defending his title against The Miz.
A good half an hour match that was.
So you had Seth Rollins from Raw defending his title against SmackDown's Miz. So if Miz won, he would take the title to SmackDown.
Can you imagine if that happened? There would be the US title and the Intercontinental title on SmackDown.
Yeah, that would have been great. I kind of thought that for a little while. I thought to myself, I wonder if they'd do that and then a couple of months down the line, bring back SmackDown or whatever. But the Intercontinental Champion... That was an amazing match.
Seth
Rollins retained it.
Even if you look at the Raw after that, Seth Rollins said himself, he was like, wow, The Miz, you can say you hate him or if you like him, and I know that's a mixed opinion, but he actually did put Seth Rollins to the limit, and just what an amazing match. I think one of the highlights for me was when they were on the top rope and they came off and Seth Rollins, obviously he didn't really jerk his knee, but for the match he jerked his knee. and then they got tangled up in the hold in the ring, so they were actually both hurt.
I know, you should get guys like The Miz is a great superstar. The Miz, in ways, it's gonna sound weird. The Miz to me sounds like he reminds me of Elias. He had 1 minute the fans are like yay, and then he says one thing and the fans boo him.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like The Miz, he's perfect. Like back in the day, Randy Orton was that Randy Orton was that person. Randy Orton, love or hate, heel or face, Randy Orton was loved, and The Miz is like that. Anything he says, the fans will cheer.
I've only got
immediately, just like that, you can get them to move.
I've only got one criticism towards this sort of situation is Seth Rollins doesn't need to make the Intercontinental Championship relevant.
Nah, he
because
doesn't.
The Miz,
honestly,
give The Miz his due. He's done that. He is what's made it relevant.
On Raw,
and that is true.
Seth Rollins defended the Intercontinental Championship, which also we'll get to that in just a moment. Seth Rollins defended it in a match, and he said, "Oh, I'm going to make it relevant or not." And I said to you, I was like, he doesn't.
Do you not notice? Do you not notice? Right.
I love Rollins, but he doesn't need to make it relevant.
Let's say we're on Miz TV, right, and The Miz can do whatever he can to get reactions for people to boo him. But as soon as he says, "I made the Intercontinental Championship relevant," everyone cheers.
Oh.
Because it's a respect, isn't it? Because he actually did make it relevant.
The last person I think that had the title to make it relevant, or make it at least something worth having, if I'm honest.
I've not seen him in a long time before, apart from The Miz.
If I'm honest, the last person I really enjoyed as Intercontinental Champion had to be Wade Barrett.
Yeah, I agree with that.
His last one as Intercontinental Champion, I really enjoyed him as champion.
How is he? He's a 6-time Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, and then The Miz, he's currently at 8. If he wins one more time, he'll join with Chris Jericho in it. Miz, honestly, love or hate The Miz, you can't deny.
Wow, could you imagine, right? Dream match. Sorry to sidetrack. Dream match: The Miz versus Chris Jericho. If Chris Jericho wins, he goes to 10 reigns. If The Miz wins, he goes to 9.
And that would be
that would be amazing.
Like WrestleMania or something, SummerSlam.
That would be such an amazing match.
And moving on next, we have the women's.
Yep, women's Raw title match: Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss. With obviously the severe, well not severe, I don't know how bad it is just yet, but Alexa Bliss shoulder injury. Halfway through the match, you could tell that she'd injured her shoulder with how much she was hugging it throughout the match. I think it was a well-dominated match. Alexa Bliss brought too much to that match than expected because it's Nia Jax and her dominance and how much bigger she is. And that's not a bullying aspect, that's actually just true. How much she dominates with her size is amazing, it's a good thing. And I love this sort of giant versus, what's the word? They're completely different sizes, basically, and you didn't expect the chemistry to be there for such an amazing match.
It was a great match, but obviously something I felt with both the women's matches on the roster on the main show that night, I felt a little bit sloppy.
I totally agree with that. Yeah,
I kind of felt like more so the Charlotte match, Charlotte versus Carmella. I felt like they were just a little bit sloppy, like they were a bit tired, and I also actually felt that about Randy Orton. When he was wrestling his match, I kind of felt like he kind of looked like he was really not enjoying what he does anymore.
I didn't even notice that. I really didn't notice that.
But Nia Jax retained the title, which I was happy about, so I'm really enjoying her as champion right now.
So, actually, just a quick note as well. Because we're heading to Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live in London, who is Nia Jax's next opponent? Because of Alexa Bliss is potentially going to be out injured.
I actually thought that myself, because I thought if you look at SmackDown, you've got Carmella, she could defend it against. You've got Charlotte.
What I think they should do,
Asuka, is Raw has not really got that someone else, do they, apart from Sasha Banks?
Start a little mini tournament on Raw with the women to come up with who's the next #1 contender. So some qualifying matches to see
for like Money in the Bank. Because also there's a Money in the Bank briefcase, but there's also a singles match itself.
No, just a couple of matches, or even a fatal 4-way or a fatal 5-way, and whoever wins that becomes the #1 contender for the women's Raw title. Something like that would be a great change up for Raw.
If I'm honest, Raw, who have you got on Raw that's... I don't know, there's not anyone on Raw that I could say, yeah.
Ember Moon. I know she's just new. She'd be better winning Money in the Bank.
Someone I'd really like to see win Money in the Bank and win the title, Mandy Rose. when she first came up
no.
and she was on Total Divas, I was like, not too keen on her, but I'm really, really beginning to like her.
Do you know who I'm upset about? Is Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch became this fire starter of a superstar that we all thought was going to have title after opportunity after opportunity. And now she's sort of not even on SmackDown. She wasn't on SmackDown last week.
It's just irrelevant now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel sorry for her because the fact that the hot WWE got rid of her as champion because she's Irish and no one understands
She's
her.
amazing. Then, actually, I love her superstar character.
Like you've got her, like she's got a strong Irish accent, yeah. But then how come you've got who's got strong accents?
Finn Balor.
Yeah, and then you've also got
Drew McIntyre.
Asuka. Nakamura.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Andrew Sanalis. You got tons of people on the roster that have got Jinder Mahal talks in his own language in America when people don't understand that. So why is she not allowed to be champion? That's not being racist or anything like that. But moving on.
Okay, and for obviously on Backlash for the United States title, Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton. You knew this feud was coming anyway because of when they were on SmackDown. Jeff Hardy's SmackDown debut. Obviously with Randy Orton coming out first, then Jeff Hardy coming out second, and then they done it again with Jeff Hardy coming out, then Randy Orton coming out second. So you knew this sort of little mini feud was coming up. I don't think you can call it a feud either, but it's just a really well-oiled match.
It's not something I'm really enjoying though.
I think
I'd rather see Jeff Hardy versus if I'm honest, I'd rather see Jeff Hardy is possibly Intercontinental, if not WWE champion.
Yeah, but. You know these two superstars can put on a well good match.
Obviously, this was the first match they've had in 10 years. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I was like no joke because of the roster the SmackDown.
I mean, not unless there's been house shows we're not aware of.
I was actually because of the feuds we were on with SmackDown with Shelton Benjamin sort of in the midst to that. I thought that Shelton Benjamin and Jeff Hardy would have made a better match at Backlash than Randy Orton.
Back to what I said earlier,
or even a triple threat.
Just in that match, I kind of felt, and that would be great, I felt Randy Orton seemed a bit like he was a bit tired of doing this. I kind of looked at him in this match and I felt like for the first time in my life, not my life, but first time in God knows how many years, I kind of feel like I'm bored of watching him. Because I just feel like his
character's that are stale.
Yeah,
he's not moving up and he's not going. He's just
He's just stuck. He feels like he's on a roller coaster that's just stuck. I would like to see him full blown out heel again, WWE champion.
I would enjoy that.
I would, but there's not really much you can add to that.
No, but you know that Jeff Hardy's going to win that match, which actually happened. So,
obviously there was a segment, like Great Royal Rumble. There was a segment added to Backlash.
Yeah, like we were saying before, it's nice to see segments on pay-per-views because it's been yonks since they've actually done these funny sort of things that only happen at pay-per-views, which is
something different. But obviously, it was what happened in the end was a bit pointless, if I'm honest. But Elias came out, tried to sing a song. He was interrupted by New Day, which then was interrupted by. He was interrupted by after New Day. It was it not Baron Corbin? And then it was No Way Joe's. But anyway, it was.
And then obviously with Apollo Crews. No, it was sorry. So first of all, the New Day came out. Then after the New Day coming out, it was Aiden English and Rusev. Then after Aiden English and Rusev came out, No Way Jose came out with Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews. And then after that, he started his music again, and then he got the glorious DDT from Bobby Roode.
Yeah, but I like Elias. I like No Way Joe's. I love Rusev. I like Aiden English. Bobby Roode bores the life out of me. When I seen him in NXT, I know I've covered this before. When I seen him in NXT, I was like, this guy's pretty good. But
do you know what I find funny? Yeah, that's really funny that you said that because see when he was on NXT, I loved him. I actually loved his heel character.
I never followed him in TNA like that.
Soon as he came up to the main roster, he just went stale for me. He's doing nothing. I don't see the excitement in his character.
Even if he was doing something, the reason I felt this was stupid is the fact that all them guys in there, they're all basically the jobbers. Like Rusev, he's over, should be champion, but he's not. You got Titus O'Neil, basically job. No one used. He doesn't get used. Apollo Crews exactly.
By the
the
way,
same.
we did not cover the best part of Greatest Royal Rumble,
What was that?
which was Titus O'Neil's amazing
yeah.
landslide
Quickly-
right underneath the ring.
Quickly cover that. So, and number. Was it
41? No.
No, that was Braun Strowman.
That was Braun Strowman. I can't even remember what his entrance was. Number
Oh,
was.
it was 40 something. I want to say it was like 49. I can't remember, but Titus O'Neil came out to the ring, took a run like he normally does and dives into the ring, whatever like that, and he slipped and went out to the ring. It's quite funny because we were all chatting amongst ourselves and we never noticed it.
Yeah, because when he came out, I was like, yeah, Titus O'Neil. I literally turned
Corey
my head.
Yeah, Corey Graves and Michael Cole were all laughing on commentary. We're like,
I turned my head and noticed them laughing. I'm like, what's going on here?
It's like he slipped under the ring. So check that out on YouTube if you haven't already.
That was
Quite a
trending
few
worldwide
people
while it was still
A
on.
lot of people have actually made videos of it, like memes basically.
Oh yeah, there is a meme. Have you seen the one where Randy Orton's RKO and Titus O'Neil when he's sliding under the ring?
So if you don't know already, go to www.shop.com. They're actually selling Titus O'Neil. Was it Titus World Slide t-shirts?
That's
It was
absolutely
funny. It
hilarious.
was funny because it's something that you can't. It's one of them things that once you've done it, which it was cringy. It's one of them things. Once you've done it first time, the second time it's like really. Because on Raw he did that, didn't he? On Raw he tried.
Oh, but he didn't want to fall over, yeah.
He
But
pretended,
they were just making a joke out of it.
but
Right, moving on to the next match on Backlash, Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass, which is okay. I love Daniel Bryan, and I right now still can't see where Big Cass is going with his character.
Ninja Wise.
No, sorry, I'll rephrase that because I actually want to give him a chance. I don't think everyone is believing in his character yet because he's just came back, and quite right because he's literally just came back.
It's like that for everyone really.
He needs to let his character organically form before we can have a match like
The
that.
only reason I think the fans are not behind him is because of who he's facing.
Totally. Like, see if we let's say 2 months down the line, let him organically form, beat up a couple of people, and then have a match like that. That'd be great. But he's literally just came back. So I think that everyone was behind Daniel Bryan 100%, and Big Cass, everyone was just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I felt because when he had this match, when he first got injured, when he was on Raw, I was like, I'm loving this. His heel turn, I thought this guy's going to go places. I just felt it on Raw. But this right now, I do love him. I'm just not.
Yeah, like you know yourself. The landscape of WWE changes so fast and so quickly that you can't leave and come back with the same idea of what you were doing before. You need to change it up and have a new mindset.
But I am hoping
So I hope
he's
not
going
gonna
to. I am hoping he's going to go somewhere though.
See, I hope he doesn't stale out.
If I'm honest, as I say, I've never really been a fan of Daniel Bryan, but I'm absolutely happy he's back in wrestling again because it's
Oh my
nothing,
God,
nothing greater than someone that's been injured and been told they're never
Especially
gonna wrestle
severe
again.
like that, yeah.
Yeah, so
And he gives people like
it's not like
Paige hope, doesn't
it's
he?
not like he's exactly Paige giving Paige hope, and who else is injured again that can't wrestle? There's someone else that can't wrestle. I can't remember who it is, and it gives them hope as well. But it's happy to see him back because someone that's it's not like he's been out for like a couple of months. It's been 3 years. But I felt Big Cass should have won that match if I'm honest.
Yeah. No, I don't think Big Cass would have won it. Should have won
He
it.
should have won.
I just think that was too much.
I felt like
That was too much too
he
quickly.
needed that win to go somewhere next.
No.
Moving on, we have Miss Money in the Bank, Miss Women's Champion Carmella defending her title against Charlotte.
Do you know what's funny is that you said that? That just proves what you just said there. You said that by accident, Miss Money in the Bank, because she actually developed that character, Miss Money in the Bank, so well that that's how people see her.
No, because I was thinking, because on Twitter, her Twitter name, it says Miss Women's Champion.
Oh, does it? But like I said, like she's done the character so well, holding the Money in the Bank briefcase, that I think it's still new, and she's doing this cocky heel thing very well as her character.
I do like her. But
I like her cocky heel.
One thing I
she's
dislike about her is the fact that she screams.
No, I like it though. I actually like it. I love the match.
Great match. I do feel.
I love the match, and I love the feud. The sort of cookie heel thing. Just going.
I do feel. I want to see Charlotte turn heel. I'm honest. But it was a great match.
I think Charlotte should have went on to Raw.
Covering. Okay, so yeah, that's something I do. Which brings me back to, I think she might win Money in the Bank, because then that gives her the opportunity to go to Charlotte. I mean, sorry. Obviously, it's
Which one Carmelo on again?
4 people from Raw, 4 from SmackDown, for the men and the women, defending in one match for the Money in the Bank. So you'll have, Asuka, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and whatever, and then you have Raw, blah 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 blah. And I think Charlotte might win it, so that gives, because that was the fact that there's been rumours of Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte, but also that's something that we'll get to later. And obviously you'll be obviously talking about this one, which is the same as the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Next match, so we've got the WWE Championship: AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, and this was no disqualification match,
which ended again
in a no contest double count out sort of style.
This one, I'm gonna have to say, WrestleMania.
So they've had 3 matches already.
Yeah, the WrestleMania.
3 pay-per-view matches.
WrestleMania, I couldn't care less. Greatest Royal Rumble, kind of getting there. This, I had to say, was probably aside the Miz versus Rollins. This was a great match.
I totally agree. And
despite of how it ended, it was definitely a great match.
Like I said before,
it was just so back and forth. That's why I enjoyed it.
I'm still getting a little bit stale with this match because of the low blow situation. Mm-hmm. See if that was out of it, and leave it to Shinsuke Nakamura to do it when they're on SmackDown to low blow him, just to get his heel character up there.
Royal Rumble.
And just when they come to pay-per-view matches, just have amazing matches.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then, leave it in a no contest or whatever at the end, but throughout the whole match, just leave it in a really historic match every single time. I love that.
And obviously, it ended in a no contest. Obviously, Greatest Royal Rumble ended in double count out, but this one it ended because both the men were down on the ground and they never got up. But the one greatest moment of the match was they've both low blowed each. Well, it's not going to be low blowed AJ Styles. AJ Styles low blowed him back, and then they both bounced off the ropes and low blowed each other. Which I was shocked to see that happen. But the crowd did give a good pop for that. It was a great match. Not going to deny that.
I'm just happy to actually see what goes forward for that. So
next on the list we have
Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. This is a really good match.
Yeah.
I think out of all the matches that were on Backlash, this is probably the only one that kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Because of on Raw, where they've been going with these 4 characters, where they've been going with them, it's perfect.
Great guys.
I loved it. I actually loved this match. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, are they going to split up for the tag team that they've got going?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the misinterpretation of what they're actually doing. But when they went back onto Raw, they sort of seemed to be there, but they started arguing a little bit and separate. So I might see another feud coming with them in the future.
Also, something that I said to you when we were watching this, I said, well, I watched it live and you watched it the next day. That's something I thought to myself. I thought, I'm loving the fact that Braun Strowman's not like Ryback, and if anyone knows what I mean the fact that when Ryback first came in, he was pushed to the heavens and highs, and he lost. Honestly, not the matches itself, but he becomes stale.
He lost steam very quickly.
He was up high, and everyone was like, "Yes, Ryback is WWE champion," and I wanted to see it. I'm not sure about yourself, but then he went downhill. But Braun Strowman,
they're booking him in the right way.
Yeah, he's what has been to the main event, but not so much that people are like getting rid of him.
Thrown in his face. And like we were speaking about before, we're still looking for really good tag teams to hit Raw. Like some really good organic teams to come up on. And what I've seen with Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman, it's a bit unfair because they're bigger than everyone, but they are a nice little tag team.
Obviously, covering what actually happened in this match, obviously Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley won, but the exciting moment in the match was when Braun Strowman ran around the ring and
I like that.
He tackled Kevin Owens.
That's his new thing now, isn't it?
It was great.
I like it though.
He did it. Was it Great Royal? No. When was he done it again? He did it another paper. I think it was
Great Royal Rumble. He's done it on
Raw. It was absolutely hilarious because the fact that Kevin Owens sold it so well.
Yeah.
Like he spun right round and he did the clothesline, and then obviously to end it off, you had Sami Zayn slapping Kevin Owens. which on Raw they were fine, but you had Kevin Owens slapping Kevin Owens, and then obviously them fighting.
Do you know what I love about this feud? With Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn is they always start, they always start the match with being little girls and I don't want to fight. But then as soon as they shut up, they get into it. They're one of the best wrestlers. They go for it.
They're great at what they do.
But I love it at the start. It always makes me laugh because they're always like, no, don't want to wrestle, no.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they get into it, it's just
I thought like Carmella actually, the fact that she's trying to leave, but then as soon as she gets one punch in, she's like the greatest thing ever. But yeah, it was a great match. I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna say something else there, but I can't remember my head. But the main event of the night, despite of what people thought, it was a great match.
It was. I totally agree with that. I think people are just trying to...
By the way, it's Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe there.
People are just trying to find reasons to get on Roman Reigns' bad side.
Yeah.
They've posted these stupid videos with people going, oh, they're bored, oh, people want to go home. I don't get that. It was a great match. It was back and forth, perfectly the way it should have been. You knew that Roman Reigns was going to win. I'm sorry, but it's perfect for Roman Reigns moving forward. If we want to see the Universal title on Raw every single week, then that needs to happen. So people need to shut their bottom lip up and actually just get on with it and enjoy it. Because if Brock Lesnar is going to be this champion forever, the title's never going to be on Raw ever again.
Well, that's what
so
I
it
thought.
Needs to happen.
That's what I thought. I mean, like when I was watching this match, I thought to myself, I even tweeted out. I said to myself, I was like, I tweeted Triple H and I said to him, Luke, I said, if you're gonna make this the main event, no wonder the fans are booing. I said, if Roman Reigns has been the main event for that long, you should have made it AJ Styles versus Nakamura, despite the fact it ended in double count out. But then, as the match was going on, I kind of thought to myself, wait, this match has been announced for weeks. The fans that bought these tickets, they knew that this was
totally,
They know, everyone going there knew for a fact he was going to get booed, so they should have watched it, despite. But I don't know. But then, as the past couple of weeks, I've been thinking to myself, like Brock Lesnar, he's great. He's a great guy. Like I respect the fact that Bobby Lashley came back. He's an ex-UFC fighter, and he's went straight into it. He's not been like, oh, I'm Bobby Lashley. Give me that guy. Give me that guy. Give me that pay-per-view. But Brock Lesnar, he's just... It does annoy me the fact... I understand he's that big guy, but he should be... I don't know how to put it.
There's a good percentage of the WWE Universe now that are actually behind this statement of Brock Lesnar is so stale to everyone now that the title needs to be on Raw.
I don't think it's that he's stale, it's the fact that he doesn't defend it every month like it's supposed to be. Remember years ago, there used to be the whole... If you don't defend it in 30 days, it gets stripped. Like back Naomi, for example, she got injured and she was out for a couple of weeks and she returned again. But yeah, she had to, and Asuka as well.
You've got to take small steps to build a future. So Roman Reigns needs to win the Universal title. May not be happy about that, but it's building towards the future. So once Roman Reigns wins it, he can go against people like Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe. Regardless of who's on what brand right now, but think of the people: Finn Balor, Drew McIntyre, if they build his character up enough, Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley,
or even smaller guys. You've got Sami Zayn.
Think of the feuds that could be if the title
was
on Raw every week.
It wouldn't happen, but like say Heath Slater, because you wouldn't see Heath Slater versus Brock Lesnar.
It's like the CM Punk situation. Do you remember when CM Punk? It was obviously storylines, but his contract ran out and then he took the WWE Championship with him. Mm-hmm. So that was only storyline, but this is like it's real. Mm-hmm. Because Brock Lesnar's got the title and we can't do anything about it. And it's annoying, it's so stupid. I don't even enjoy it. I enjoy Paul Heyman, I don't enjoy Brock Lesnar.
It just annoys me the fact that he doesn't defend it every month, and then you've got guys like the Usos, I'm trying to think of smaller guys, Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns, working their asses off. You got Roman Reigns working his ass off on the roster, and people are booing him. If you don't like him, that's fine. But he works his ass off. Brock Lesnar defends his title 3 times a year? Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous.
I totally agree.
And hopefully we're going to see a change. He sits at home while they're not. I don't want to get into it because it really does annoy me. I love Brock Lesnar.
I show up, make money, and go home. That's probably
obviously. We haven't commented on this the last time, but the salary update.
Yeah,
you've got Brock Lesnar sitting right up at the top, earning $500,000 per match. even if it's
And
like the Goldberg match lasted like 5 minutes.
the televised when he's televised on Raw,
It's like 100 grand or something.
so 75 or to 85 grand, something
Yeah,
like that.
and that's just
to show up and do a promo.
Yeah.
He doesn't even say anything.
5 minute segments.
He doesn't even say anything.
You've got Roman
And
Reigns.
then, like, if we go backwards a couple of years when WWE said we're going to make some massive savings, so the fireworks got disappeared.
Yes. Now we only see it once a year, and that's at WrestleMania.
Now, what about Brock Lesnar's bloody salary? Get rid of that and get
Exactly.
things
No
that are
wonder
actually
that-
worth it.
Exactly. No wonder they can't afford these things nowadays. But Backlash, would you rate it?
It wasn't one of the best pay-per-views I've seen. My favourite match out of that was probably the Intercontinental Championship match.
If not,
It really wasn't one of the best pay-per-views I've seen. They've had bits something better. Like I said, I think the Greatest Royal Rumble stole some of the hype from it. So there wasn't as much hype going into it.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong, it was a great pay per view. I'm not going to deny that, but I just felt sorry for the main event. They're working their ass off to try to give us a good main event, and then they're getting booed.
But anyway, with Backlash behind us, with Greatest Royal Rumble all behind us, with things said and done, you can't change, but you can change moving forward. Moving forward, we have got Money in the Bank coming up, so the SmackDown, the Raw and SmackDowns coming up forward in the future are going to be the qualifying matches for the men and the women's Money in the Bank.
At Backlash, they had Michael Cole announced on commentary that Money in the Bank will be next month on the 17th of June. Obviously, as you know, it's a Sunday. So obviously that's moving forward to what's coming next for Money in the Bank, who goes where, who goes what, you know. So on Raw, we had two qualifying matches. If I'm correct, it was right.
Mm-hmm.
No, 3, sorry. Two for the men.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Two for the men,
you're right,
one for the women. So the first match to open the show, you had Braun Strowman. Obviously there was a segment prior to it, Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens, with Braun Strowman winning and qualifying for the Money in the Bank, being the first man to enter the Money in the Bank.
I've got to stop there a second. What I love is hopefully that they're bringing Kevin Owens back to the way he needs to be, on his own, heel, and he needs to just dominate.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's what I love about
someone
Kevin
else
Owens.
could have covered it, obviously at Backlash, but then it's going to say it's relevant to comment now. But what I don't want to see is I do see Sami Zayn turning face. I just kind of see it coming soon.
Well, it's gonna happen.
But I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them feud again.
No, I actually, if I'm honest, I think Sami Zayn's not really gonna go anywhere once this feud's over with Kevin Owens.
He's not a great heel.
He's gonna slowly sizzle out. And I don't think they'll get rid of him, because if they can keep Mojo Rawley, I'm pretty sure they can keep blowing Sami Zayn.
We'll get on to that just in a moment, but I'm happy Braun Strowman won. Great that he entered, being the first man to enter. Hopefully I want to see Kevin Owens go somewhere from then, rather than just be that sideline guy, because like he was the second he was the second Universal Champion, but kind of the first, because Finn Balor only held it for 22 hours or whatever it was. Yeah. But he held it for a long time until Goldberg took it from him, and I don't even think he got a rematch, did he?
Who?
Goldberg, Brock Lesnar.
Finn Balor?
No. Well, yeah, and Kevin Owens.
Yeah. No, they didn't, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, so no wonder. He's got the golden title.
Next on the show, we had...
Baron Corbin and the Revival in a 6-man tag match against No Way Jose and Titus Worldwide, so Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews. This is one of these matches where I'm just like, yeah, okay. I think they're just trying to get the superstars some TV time. The Revival, they do nothing for me whatsoever. No Way Jose, the only thing I like about his character is his entrance. And Baron Corbin, yeah, I like Baron Corbin.
Absolutely love Baron Corbin. When he first came out onto the Giant, I was like, who using this guy? I was like, nah, I don't like him at all. But as the months and months have went on, and I'm like, this guy absolutely amazing. And I know for a fact, I know Vince McMahon is a big fan of him, so I'm hoping he's gonna go somewhere.
Baron Corbin, I love his moves. End of Days and what's the other one? It sort of reminds me of Wade Barrett's.
Wade Barrett's Winds of Change.
Yes, but that sort of reminds me of it.
But I don't know what his is called. It's the same though.
It's the same. Exactly. I love that.
Luke Harper also uses it as well. No Way Joe's. I do like him.
No Way Joe's.
I do like him. No Way Jose, sorry. I do like him. But the only thing I dislike about him is, again, it's the entrance. Like when I saw him in NXT, he never had that at all. Whoever thought of think, oh, let's give him an Adam Rose entrance again.
Yeah.
Why they done that, I don't
With
know.
the rosebuds.
And then in this match, I was obviously expecting Tyson O'Neill and that to win because of what happened at Royal Rumble. I thought, yeah, he's probably gonna.
Are you well? Obviously, because of the segments passed on Raw, that the reason why they got tag team together is because Titus O'Neill, Charles Worldwide helped out No Way Jose, so that's why that got put together. So
I don't know why Baron Corbin's in there. I don't know if it's just to build his dominance, basically.
wow, do you know what I would love to see? Baron Corbin versus Drew McIntyre. That would be a great match because they're both kind of equally matched. Well, Drew McIntyre is bigger and better than he is, but they've got
It'd be a great match.
It'd be a really
it would
good
be
match.
one of the matches where I'd like to see and not be like
A good 15-20
No,
minute
I mean,
match.
I wouldn't want to see it to be like a monster versus the jobber. I'd like to see where Drew McIntyre wins, Baron Corbin wins, not where Drew.
Yeah.
They get mixed in the match. They both get an equal partnership and win. Next on the show we had Sasha Banks versus Ruby Riott versus Ember Moon for the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase ladder match to qualify for Money in the Bank next month, which Ember Moon grabbed the win, defeating, as I say, Sasha Banks.
Like we said, it's early days just now for these qualification matches, so you know who's going to be in it already, but you just need to wait for the matches to come up. So we know that Sasha Banks is going to enter it at some point, anyway, with Bayley being in there as well.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about Ruby Riott, but I do see Sasha Banks entering it as well.
I think we should do, the next part is skip completely past is the Bobby Lashley sit down talk with Renee Young. That was the most random thing I've ever watched in my life. I'm just like, what was the point in that?
But
They could have, if they were doing the VTs that they showed before that.
Yeah.
Leave it at that. They didn't need to sit there and talk. That was so random.
It was really weird. I don't know what that was about.
I didn't even enjoy it. I found it was kind of cringy.
I'll say back to the Women's Money in the Bank. I'm not entirely sure who I want to win, but I think obviously we'll see quite some decent people from Raw because the fact that last year was the women's from SmackDown. We've not seen the women's from Raw have a chance.
It's too early days just now to say anything, I know. So next match we had on Raw was Jinder Mahal versus Chad Gable, with Jinder Mahal winning. They've had a really good on and off feud here just now because obviously with Gable,
I like
Chad Gable beating Jinder Mahal, and now he's got it back with Jinder Mahal beating Chad Gable.
When he was with Chad Gable, was with Jason Jordan on SmackDown. They were the second. Were they second to win the money? Raw SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Jason Jordan, never a fan. I think he's utterly boring. I think I don't like him worse than Bobby Roode.
Do you know what's funny is we're in a catch-22 situation here because in one hand I love the way Chad Gable is going forward. He's great by himself. He's like the little man that can, you know.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, we need some really good tag teams on Raw.
Like
so to see American Alpha back would be great.
He's like I wouldn't say modern because they're probably the same age, but he kind of reminds me of Evan Bourne.
Well, he reminds me of like Evan Bourne / I don't even know. He's like a smaller John Cena. He's got he's got so much muscle to him, and he's got so much fire to him. You love.
Well, when he was
going forward, I think
when he was with Jason Jordan, I was like, I didn't like that.
Why didn't they add him to be Kurt Angle's son? He's more like Kurt Angle than Jason Blum and Jordan.
I know. I think it's just because the fact that Jason Jordan does his own bit whatever. But as I say, when they were together, I didn't like them. But I am really liking Chad Gable right now. So I'm really hoping he's actually going to go somewhere, possibly the Intercontinental Championship, not the tag team again. But hopefully he actually does go somewhere, and Jason Jordan doesn't return going with him. I don't want to see that. So who knows? But moving on next, we have
some of the
moment of the night. Singles.
I think we're just biased at the fact that Drew McIntyre's Scottish and we're Scottish, but at the same time, who doesn't love Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler's little thing they've got going just now?
Yeah, so in a match on Raw,
absolutely brilliant.
We had Heath Slater and Rhino. He's got kids. Versus Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. Which it was. It was. I mean, it was one of the matches that was quickly over. But I like Drew McIntyre and Ziggler's move they do together, which is zigzag and then does the feature shock, whatever it's called. That he does not the feature shock, the kick to the face.
Claymore kick.
It's absolutely amazing.
So obviously, because we're Scottish and because we love Drew McIntyre, when we're in London, my top moment that I'm going to be looking forward to the most is seeing Drew McIntyre
Back
live.
to what we said. Was it great for Royal Rumble?
Look out in the crowd for our Scotland flag because we're going to have a massive Scotland flag. Hold
Back
that
to
for
what we
Drew
were saying
McIntyre.
at Greatest Royal Rumble. We were saying how they are great tag team championship worthies. No, I wouldn't want to see that, but absolutely love them.
I love them together the way they are.
Back to
Yeah,
what we
you're
said,
right.
you know,
Yeah,
a couple
yeah.
weeks
I wouldn't want to see them as tag team champions. I'm happy with the way it's going right now.
Back to what we said a couple weeks ago. We said, what even is this?
Exactly.
But it's just they've got that chemistry.
Isn't it funny how it can quickly change? Because when we first said that, I obviously rolled my eyes.
Well,
and I
when
went,
it was
oh
on,
my
yeah.
God, blah.
But they are great together. I really like it. They've got great chemistry, and I hope it's gonna be one of these where I don't want to see like Galloway turn on Ziggler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. I totally agree with that.
Or either or. I don't want them to turn on each other. I would like to see where like Galloway's like, right, I'm doing my thing. Ziggler's like, I'm doing my thing, and then they split apart because they've just got great chemistry. Next on the list we have
Bobby Roode versus Elias. I like Elias. I love everything that he does.
Bobby Roode defeating.
But I'm getting
Elias.
bored of Bobby Roode. I'm sick of seeing his face. He's the only superstar that annoys me. I don't even know why he annoys me. He just annoys me.
When he first came up to
He's not fun.
when he first came up
And
to the
he's
roster,
not got much of a character apart from ripping off Ric Flair and Charlotte Flair. Apart from that, it's just it's stale.
when he first came out
boring.
to obviously to SmackDown, because when he first came out to SmackDown, I was like, he's alright. But then I was like, as the months went on, I was like, and then when he became a United States champion, I was like,
Do you know what would be the worst match in the world to see? It's Bobby Roode versus Mojo Rawley. I think I'd just walk out the arena and go home if I seen that.
I don't know. It's just I just don't see the point in him really, because he got him at Backlash coming out to all these wannabes, and then he comes in and has a match like that.
Moving on.
But it's
There's nothing really to add to that whatsoever. And we're on to this. Speaking of Mojo Rawley, Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins comes out to the ring. Like we said earlier, there's no reason why he needs to make the Intercontinental Championship relevant because he is.
But
apart from that, we love Seth Rollins. He came out saying I'm going to issue an open challenge, which is great because it shows that they're going to throw anyone out there. It gives us a chance to be excited to see who's coming out.
And we kind of watched it.
And then this guy comes out.
And then we watched it and kind of thought, we kind of put our predictions. We kind of thought it could be Zack Ryder because it was in their
Long Island. Mm-hmm.
Thought it could be possibly Jinder Mahal because he's just been backstage.
Or it could have been Jason Jordan's
Yeah,
return.
could return because he is expected. He is cleared to return. But it was Mojo Rawley, and I was like, really? And I was a bit we don't know what happens after Raw. We do, but we didn't know what happened after that Raw. So Zack Ryder could have got his hometown.
Yeah, in the dark match.
Yeah, but why Mojo Rawley was chosen for that, I don't know. But obviously, if we go back a couple of years, you had who was the first on the Giant Battle Royal winner? Was it Big Show? Cesaro.
Mm-hmm.
He won it. He went places. He's been United States champion. He's not been Intercontinental. He's been tagged. He's quite a few times tagged.
The Big Show's already a recognised, decorated superstar.
Yeah, and then you've got
Mojo Rawley went absolutely nowhere.
Baron Corbin, come Money in the Bank winner, United States champion.
You've no Vince took it off of him,
But then Rawley, it's like he's not even been a champion at all, has he?
And like again, like the only thing he's got is hype. I don't get hype.
That's the one thing I do. That's
hype.
one thing I do kind of like about him. When he's face, when he comes to the ring, he runs. That's the only thing I do like about him. But I just don't see the point of.
The only thing I like about Mojo Rawley is when he exits the ring.
Where's he from?
I've no idea. I think he's from New York. I can't remember.
Yeah, but I just don't understand what that match was about.
I don't even care where he's from. I don't
why
like
did
him.
they choose him? Is it just because the fact that Zack Ryder?
Two superstars. I will not ever like. Let us know who you're not enjoying just now. Mine is obviously Bobby Roode and Mojo Rawley.
Pointless, if I'm honest. That match there.
There you go. This is actually quite fun to see where things are going to be heading soon in the future.
Yeah, obviously.
Woken Matt Hardy.
We know where
and
this
Bray Wyatt.
we know where this is going, but I'm more excited to see where that's
No,
going.
totally. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Curtis
Yeah,
Axel
we're
and
talking
Bo Dallas versus Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. because I'm excited to see where they're going with Bo Dallas and
Because
Curtis
the fact
Axel.
that their entrance music is back to what they originally had.
Mm-hmm.
Bo Leave and Curtis Axel is back to when he first came out as Curtis Axel.
I'm excited for it.
I'm really excited to see where they're gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not so much a fan of Bo Dallas, never really have been, but Curtis Axel, as soon as he came out as Curtis Axel won the Intercontinental Championship, I was behind him. So where does he go next? That's the question.
I like it.
And, it's great. Hopefully tag team, possibly, as long as they're not, if they do it right.
If they get booked in the right way.
Yeah, and the main event, we had a qualifying Money in the Bank ladder match. For the men's, we had Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn, and the winner, as I say, goes to join with Roman Reigns for next month's Money in the Bank, with Finn Balor defeating Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn.
He means Braun Strowman, not Roman Reigns.
Sorry, yeah, Braun Strowman. Finn Balor defeated both these men, which he joins Braun Strowman.
Which is good. I'm happy that they gave Finn Balor the win straight off the bat.
I was shocked though.
This is not my opinion. This is everyone else's. Just because I can't be arsed with people gurning and moaning. If Roman Reigns won that match, we would never hear the end of it.
But
that is the annoying thing.
He will get added to the match though.
He will. Yeah.
But it's kind of times like that I think, what's the point of having this match if he's going to get added anyway?
Mm-hmm.
You may as well just be added to it. It's like when they have they'll have a three-way man match, they'll have Heath Slater, Rhino versus Roman Reigns, and you're for the winner goes against the champion, you're oh, who's going to win this? It's kind of like one of them moments. It's you know they're going to win. So, but also I was surprised that Finn Balor won it though. He is deserving of it because it's for the Universal Championship.
I would actually like to see him win Money in the Bank. That would be great. That would be really good.
I actually want to see someone from Raw win Money in the Bank because the fact that last year we never saw a Raw one, not because it's not Interbrand, but because the fact that Brock Lesnar was the champion.
Yeah.
That was originally supposed to be a Raw Money in the Bank, but they changed it to SmackDown because the fact that Brock Lesnar was the champion. So hopefully that means that if someone wins it from Raw, that means that he is gonna lose it before they cash in.
Yep, so that was the final Raw that we are receiving before we head
SmackDown
for Raw.
Currently at the moment, it's actually just after 12 right now into Wednesday, so SmackDown will be live in just an hour, so we can't give our predictions or a update for that there because it's not been on just yet.
Under a week to go before we see Raw live, there's going to be more Money in the Bank qualifying matches, which it could be Jinder Mahal versus I had it in my head.
Not qualifying match. Jinder Mahal's Raw. There is one qualifying match though that has been announced, which was announced on Raw. Jeff Hardy versus The Miz qualified for the Money in the Bank.
No, for next week. So if there's another qualifying match for the
there will be.
Money in the Bank,
Michael Cole
it's definitely going to be Jinder
Michael
Mahal.
Cole did announce on Raw. He didn't announce a match or anything like that, but he said there'll be more qualifying matches next week. But who it is, I don't know. As I say, back to SmackDown.
And it's not very clear either because they didn't make it clear if it's Kurt Angle didn't make it clear if it's going to be a Raw and SmackDown Money in the Bank or if it's together.
But I think
that wasn't very clear.
It's not been obviously it's clarified because they've announced that Jeff Hardy versus The Miz will be a qualifying match for next month.
Yeah, but they've still not announced if it's one match. All this is qualifying for.
If I'm honest, I really want to see The Miz win it.
Oh no.
No, not necessarily Money in the Bank. I want to see him win the qualifying match.
Oh right, okay. I thought you meant Money in the Bank.
If Galloway's not in Money in the Bank, or not Galloway, sorry, McIntyre.
I'll be kind of annoyed at that because he's deserving. Of
he's
like
deserving, but if he's not in it, The Miz is my pick to win.
No.
I could just imagine honestly, because the last time he's had that kind of title was back when he first got that push, and that was years ago. I'm not saying I don't know. It's because the fact it's been that long.
I don't agree. I'm not. That's not something I don't think
I think it's just because The Miz has been Intercontinental Champion the past couple of years so many bloody times. If you look on the website and look at the championship list, it's just like it'll be like it's like Dolph Ziggler, such Miz, such Miz, such Miz, and it's like really. Because he makes the title what it is. He is a great champion, but why is he not being given that push now?
We could be here all night talking about this.
But
But at the same time, that's us up to date with WWE. We're excited for what's coming up in the next week for us personally. Going into London for everything that's all happening with the events. Keep up to date with us with everything that's happening. For the daily vlogs, to us at Selfridges, meeting the superstars, to us at the pop-up WWE shop at Selfridges. So I was going to be backstage at the O2 Arena meeting all the superstars and see what's going on, playing in some games and going to the backstage bar, seeing the actual event live for television ourselves. Look out for our Scotland flag on Raw and SmackDown if you want to see where we technically will be, because we'll be flying high for Scotland in London. If no one else will bother with that, but still.
Yeah, but like I said at the start of the video, if you see us, don't forget to say hi. So if you happen to see us at the Selfridges store or at Raw or SmackDown, just tell us that you know us and you watch our channel. Oh, that's one of the pop figures. But if you enjoyed this video, you know, guys, what to do. All the links will be in the description. All the links will be at the end of the video. Sorry for the one that we've just recorded before this. And as I say, drop a comment below and tell us if you are going to Raw or SmackDown and who's the person you're most looking forward to seeing. Who are you looking forward to seeing?
Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, but obviously in terms of pops, it has to be Finn Balor, Seth Rollins and Samoa Joe are the two people I'm looking. Just because I like the champs, that's what I like. I like to burn it down because when we went to Manchester, what was the last televised show we went to before Manchester? Was it Glasgow. And we never had Burn It Down then, it was just a normal, but Burn It Down.
Did we go to Raw and SmackDown in May 2017?
No, we didn't.
Where was that?
I was in London.
Was it?
We never went.
Okay.
We only went to the house show. But Manchester never did Burn It Down, it was the Shield at that point, so now it's
yeah, that's right.
I'm hoping, as I say, because some weeks they come out and it just does the Burn It Down straight away, so hopefully we'll get the Burn It Down. I'm excited for that, and I'm excited for Joe, because when we went to Manchester they never did that, did they?
No, yeah, they didn't, because he done the run out segment.
Yeah, but it was great. Yeah.
No, I'm excited for the whole thing in general.
Yeah,
but if you're not going yourself, then you can experience all the fun from everything that we're having through our channel as well. So keep up to date with all that.
Yeah, so stay tuned for Sunday, and you will see our updates for what's going on in the life of WWE. On Sunday, we'll have a update. So we will see on the Sunday the travel from us waking up to us getting to our train to get to London, to our flight to London, get into our hotel, travel into arena, meeting superstars. Hopefully we'll try to get a vlog with Braun Strowman and Bailey, and we might get
that'll be fun.
We'll try to get Braun to go get these ass. But you know, I am looking forward to it. We're not taking our titles actually, obviously, because it's London. But if it's Glasgow, we would be.
Especially not the World Heavyweight Championship title that I have, because it weighs about 2 kilos itself. And I don't want a chance taking it that far.
Yes.
But anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and all that jazz, and we will see you wrestling page.